Welcome to Universal Interiors. I'm Leslie Inglestead, and I'm with my husband Jeffrey today, talking here in beautiful Crystal Lake, and feel very privileged to just be soaking in the sunshine of the summer. It's getting to the end of this summertime, and all of us start to lose our little, oh no, it went so fast. We live in Minnesota. Sometimes I feel people talk about that all the time, and
it did go fast.
It does. And then at the same time, a little cooling down at night times, I celebrate that.
Indeed.
It's kind of funny how we just get to gripe a little bit sometimes. A little bit too cold, a little bit too hot, and all that in between. And it's just about being comfortable. And it just kind of makes me think about oftentimes we just get kind of like, yeah, I want to do that, but I'd rather do what I want to do. Somebody else wants you to do something. It's a little easier to serve yourself than it is to serve others. But you know what? That's not the way we're really designed. We're really designed to serve. In fact, we're designed even to wash feet.
Wash feet.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm not sure about actually physically washing feet, but I know that that Jesus set an extraordinary example for us. And he lived it out every day. But one of the events that's really important, he's with his disciples. And the scripture says he took his outer clothing off and he wrapped a towel around his waist. And then he started going around the room and started washing his disciples' feet.
Yeah, and of course, like a story that you read in the Word or you hear in the Word is the culture, right? Well, it's much more with Jesus always than the culture he lived in. Yes, they had to wash their feet, but
right.
Just what he was doing.
Yeah, and they were like, what are you doing? I mean, they know him. They know he's an extraordinary individual. He's unlike anyone who's ever lived before.
Right.
And here he is bending down basically without his clothes, and he's washing their dirty feet, right? And he tells them, I need to do this. I am setting an example for you. I'm showing you how I want you to live. And so I think that for a lot of us, and I know I'm myself included, that we tend to complicate our faith with too many different details, when really it's pretty simple. He just wants us to serve. He wants us to wash feet, or whatever that means to you.
Sure.
I don't know that he's asking us to physically wash other people's feet, but maybe.
Yep, I think myself.
But it's all about being willing to minister to someone who is in need. Right? It could be someone in your family. It could be a neighbor, someone in the hospital, someone in jail, someone on the street.
There's possibilities with is endless, really.
It's endless.
It really is. I often think, Jeffrey, as you were saying that list of who all the different people you can minister or to serve, same word, same idea, is that I've met so many different fun people that listen to this show, and I'm so happy about it, and I love listening to your story as you've listened to our story and my story. But some are younger, some are middle life, and some are at the end of life. And I get encouraged, but I also get a little bit sad because some people are, well, I've really got nothing to do, I'm just old now. And that makes my heart just get so sad, because like Jeffrey just mentioned, like jail or hospitals, you know what, even if you physically can't get there, you can send words of encouragement. You can figure out how to send that loaf of banana bread that you made to somebody that's never been visited in a nursing home. I mean, there's so many possibilities out there, but we kind of just get stuck. And again, I wanted to just say that because there's many of you that are all alone, and you are older, and you don't know what to do with your time. You just feel like it's done, but far from it, right?
Exactly.
You're never going to be too old until God takes you. There's a reason.
It's really just a matter of keeping your eyes open and going, I can help here.
Right.
Maybe it's just giving money, or maybe it's physically doing something.
Right. Or time.
Or time. There's so many different ways in which we can serve. The example is very obvious for all of us. Serve.
Right.
Because that's what our calling is. Don't overcomplicate it. Our calling is to love. Our calling is to serve. And it requires us sometimes to really humble ourselves. Now,
and that's the hard part.
And you've got Jesus, who is, I mean, who is he, right?
Right.
He's extraordinary. He's the Son of God. And yet he is humbling himself before his friends, common man,
Right.
and is doing something that's pretty unusual
Right.
and unforgettable.
Yeah.
And I know that whenever we take the time to serve, those events for me always does something to me that makes my life fuller.
Right.
Those other times when I've succeeded at something or I have achieved something,
Right. You thought this would
those
get you
are
there.
those are moments of glory, I guess. But when you actually help somebody, that's a real game changer for you in terms of how you feel about yourself, what your worldview is.
Right.
You know, and the more you serve, the more you want to serve.
Because then we're doing what we're created to do. And we get that, we feed it.
Exactly.
You know, and we're constantly, if we were to, whatever our age might be, like you said, you got the success, you get this, you reached a pinnacle, so to speak, of something. And then you start to feel a little bit shallow. I mean, you know, when we've done these great things or had just received something or whatever, it's crazy. All of a sudden it just kind of like, you get kind of deflated. And so that's kind of like telling me that that's not what we're about. But when we're out seeking to do the next best thing for someone else, it's like a fuel, like you're saying, right?
It's a fuel.
It feeds it and it gets going. And we're doing, again, just because we're doing what God's got in each one of us, the passions. I think I was just sharing this with you the other day. It's like we all have our gifts. That's why we need to have a fellowship, have somewhat of a gathering, the togetherness, to just be able to do something where you're strong in, where that other person's weak in. I mean, I look at my really wonderful friendships of, say, Raina and I for many years now, and it's like, okay, you're this way and I'm that way. She gives me this, I give her this, and we're better for each other. And hopefully I've done something to serve her, because she sure does a lot to serve me. And, you know, but you got to look out. And that's another thing that people that get a little bit stuck on, poor me, is they certainly haven't looked out for a while. And what can I do for another?
Right.
Don't you think?
I do. I think that we are wired for a certain purpose. And as great as this culture is, the American culture,
Yeah.
Things are a little bit askew.
Little? Okay.
In terms of, you know, our goals.
Yeah.
And I feel like if our number one goal is to be like Christ in that sense, to
Yeah.
serve, to wash feet, whatever that means to you,
Yeah.
then I feel like everything else we do will be fine. It'll be in line.
Yeah. We're not going to be perfect.
We're never going to be perfect about it. And
God
we're always going to
doesn't expect it.
we're always going to have selfish ambition.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that we can't correct things along the way.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just changing course just a little bit.
Sure. And that really is true. If we are feeling restless, then something's off. God gives us this gift. And whomever I'm speaking at today, we're speaking at and sharing, just hopefully something's just stirring up inside of your heart, because our challenge always is to just help you, it's to love better, to understand a little more of our Creator, to just celebrate, encourage, whatever word you want to say. But if you're unpeaceful, is that a word? If you're lacking peace, just ask. He can't wait to show you where He wants you to serve, right?
Exactly.
I mean, that's the thing we have, is that we get to be part of this beautiful, big, grand picture.
Exactly. And you know what? God's always going to bring people in on your path.
There you go.
When someone is on your path, be careful not to walk around them,
Yeah, I love that thought.
because
So
you
be
live with that forever.
Yep. So just being aware.
Being aware.
That's it. Be aware. Care. Hey, that's a new saying. Get out and serve somebody, because we all do. Hey, that'd make a good song. Okay, have a great day. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.